Feel this.
So Blaze, Mike Mountain, Black Spanish. Check it. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, no sombre to my temple.
Mike Mountain, Psycho Bless, Beat Nuts in the house. You might see me at the club cutting the black wax. So
good evening. I am your host, Miss TML. You are now tuned in Real Talk with TML. We have a very special guest with us tonight. He goes by
Mike Mountain.
Mike Mountain in the building. I'm so excited because you are a legend in this music game. And I've just been doing my research and, just finding all the things that you have accomplished in your career is magnificent. But also the fact that you do, boom bap as well as reggaeton, as well as trap, Spanish trap as well. And that to me is amazing because I always ask Spanish artists, like, do you rap in Spanish and in English? And a lot of them tell me no, I just either rap in Spanish or I rap in English, and that's it. So to see you do what you do, I'm like, he is just a gift from God. You know what I mean? Because to be able to have that translation and the delivery that you give, it's incredible. It's something that I think people should pay attention to. So kudos to you. Flowers always to you, King.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to have you here with us today. So I know that you've been promoting your most recent album or project that you've been working on. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Triple Piragua, right?
Piragua, yeah, Triple Piragua. It's a Latin, a hip hop album that has the East Coast Latin Spanglish. It has the reggaeton and it has the Latin trap. You know what I'm saying? So it's got a little bit of everything for everyone, and it's a hardcore hitter, and it's an enjoyable album. It was mixed and mastered by my man, Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E Rex.
Yeah.
And, he also produced a couple of tracks on there, including Bacardi, which features Thurston Howell and Microphone Prince.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good album, man. It's a really good album. I know because I try to make music that I like. You know what I'm saying? So I give that to y'all. I know.
And it's dope because, like I said, it gives you that feel of reggaeton. It gives you that feel of boom bap, as well as trap. And that, for me, that's what we need to hear now. I mean, I think people are more resonating towards music that's going to make them feel good, music that's going to give them a feeling of being alive. And every track that I heard from you, that's what I heard. You know what I mean? It's like you said, you want music that is going to make people happy and that you like. So
yes,
you did a great job.
Thank you.
I just want to say that. And you're very consistent. That's another thing as well that I noticed is that, no matter what, you're still online promoting your project every day, as well as the merch. And that's important, So let's talk about that a little bit. What, in regards to the merch, do you feel has been picking up traffic and getting attention?
I've definitely been getting traffic. I've made quite a few sales with the merchandise. I sell slides, or the flip flops, should I say, the slides. I sell the t-shirts, from the women's t-shirts to the men's t-shirts, and I even sell men's basketball sneakers and kids sneakers, tennis shoes, and also I gotta say that I sell the albums, the merch, the CDs, and everything comes with a audible download. So
Okay.
if you buy like say some shot glasses, or you buy a necklace or something, it's going to come with either an album or it's going to come with a single. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how expensive the item is. It's going to come with either a single or album. So
That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
it's for everybody.
And I mean, again, that's strategic. It's strategic marketing. It's strategic branding. And being a vetted, artist, you understand the importance of this. And that's one of the things that I tried to, relate to these new and up and coming artists. Um, so what would you say would be your advice to artists that are up and coming in regards to merch?
Uh, get a brand, and you need to get a brand. I paid for this advice, so
Yeah.
it will be very wise for you to take this advice. Get a brand, something that people can identify with, something that's all purpose, all season, and use it. Use your music as a vehicle to sell that brand.
That's right. That's right. And I see you doing that. And like I said, you're being successful and you're being calculated as what you're pushing out there, So that's important. I tell artists, to make sure you have a strategic marketing plan for the next 6 months for your project. Um, can you
I would
tell
say
me?
3 years at least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um, tell me, what is your creative process like?
Um. Well, personally, I like to indulge in 420, so I smoke and I write or I create art. You know what I'm saying? I smoke and I create art or I write. Um, I I uh I can usually get down to like 8 or 10 bars,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go ahead and take a break. If I don't get the whole thing, then I'll just take a break, come back to it, make about 6 more bars, come back to it, add 2 more until I finish up and make 20 or 16. So that's usually how I do it. I pretty much you know, I it's a process, one at a time. You know what I'm saying? Piece at a time
Right.
for me
Right.
usually, because I like to take my time and put the details, and the devil's in the detail, as they say. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I respect that because again, when I was doing music, it was all about the feeling of the beat and making sure that I got the wordplay in there correctly. And I see that with your bars and how you line things up and how you give a visual and a story. And it just fits. And I think that's something that not every artist understands or has that creativity to be able to do that. So kudos to you for that. Cause again, I think, rap is a form of expression, but it's also a story. It's also, something where you have to tell the story and deliver it in a way that people can visualize it without seeing it. And you do a magnificent job of doing that. So again, it was like when I first heard you, I was like, wow, like he sounds so much like Big Pun and like, those that era of music. So do you get that a lot?
Yeah, a lot of people compare me to Big Pun, but uh, they don't they don't say I sound just like him.
No.
They they just liken me to him and other people at the same time, like a combination of Pun and other people.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say that he is one of my influences. So I can see why they say that.
Yeah. I definitely heard like I said, like sometimes you don't realize how much of an influence, some artists have been in the past to you. Or, just the caliber of the expertise of where you're going. And I think that's where I was like, wow, like this is like the new era of the Big Pun. You know what I mean? Like
I
Mike
try.
Mountain is taking it to the next level. And you've just been able to do that in so many different dynamics. And I think that's important to recognize, like I just say that because again, my biggest thing with artists is, especially, bilingual speaking artists, I think that you have an advantage to be able to speak both languages and be fluent in both languages. And you've just been able to master that. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I don't think that I've mastered Spanish. Spanish is a easy but complicated language, and I've just tried. I just had the courage to try.
Yeah.
That's all it is when you exploring different languages. It's
Mm-hmm.
just having the courage to try, and not being afraid to make mistakes. And I've recorded a lot of mistakes in Spanish. Even to this
Really?
album, yeah, even to this album, you can basically tell that I'm a descendant of New Yorkers. I'm not even a New Yorker, but I have broken New Yorker Spanish. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could
Because
tell.
you're
You know,
originally from DC, right?
I'm originally born in New Jersey, and I moved to the DC area when I was small. When my
Okay.
family originates. So you know, I you know, you could just tell that I'm third generation. You know what I'm saying? You could just
Yeah.
tell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And it's true because, again, I first thought you were from New York. So when I started to read your bio and it said you were from DC, it still kind of made sense. But I was like, wow, he still has that New York vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
I don't sound like I'm from Landover, Maryland, which is 5 minutes, is a 5 minute drive from DC.
hmm,
And I don't I still don't sound like I'm from Landover or DC. They all it's all the same because it's just right around the corner. But I don't I don't sound like I'm from this area. I do and I don't. I sound like I'm from a mix of this area and a mix of up north because a lot of my friends are from up north. A lot of my friends are transplants from up north down here. A lot
yeah,
of my friends, I have friends from all over actually.
yeah,
Um, but a lot of my friends are I'm drawn towards people from that area because that's where I'm originally from and I have family there. So you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It is what it is.
yeah. And again, I like the accent, the tone, you know what I mean? Like that is what people are gonna resonate with. He sounds like where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? And that for me was the oomph. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh God, he got that up north swag, he got that, Latin swag. So it was dope to hear that.
Well, one thing about up north is that it commands attention and respect. It's very direct and upfront. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people tend to be sensitive to the New York demeanor or presence or dialect or conversation and gestures. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And that I've been like that at times myself. So I know how that could be. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But one good thing about it is that it does definitely command. It's a very it has a Leo type of presence. It has
Hmm.
a Leonine type of presence, a very lion type of presence.
Right. Very,
So
very king like. You know what I mean? You have to be the king of your castle and
yeah,
state your territory, mark your territory. I think
yeah. And
that's you know
being around those guys, I definitely had to toughen up. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So I mean,
right.
not saying that DC is not for the faint hearted, but
No, it's not.
you know what I'm saying? The way that you talk, the further south that you go, the more the more you know how to talk to people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? As far
yeah,
as you know what I'm saying, the more kinder you talk to people, or the more sensitive you are to how people speak to you.
yeah.
And that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? The more up north you are, the less sensitive you are to how you speak to people. So
It's true.
yeah,
That's a good analogy, Mike. That really is because honestly, like I always say, up north people, we're very different in regards to just like our etiquette and how we talk to people. Like you said, like
yeah,
No one says please, no one says thank you. And if they do, it's like, oh wow, this person's actually a little more, kinder than the
Yeah,
the
I go
persona.
somewhere like South Carolina, everybody's waving to you and saying hi, and
Right.
you don't have to say nothing, and they'll still wave to you, So
That's right.
it's
So
like
true. So
that's just
tell
how it
me
is.
tell me about the collaborations that you have on this album. With the producers and the artists that you brought in. I know there were some great artists that you brought in to collab with on this project. Can you talk about that a little bit?
But one, I want to give a shout out to my man, Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex. That's one of my best friends and my personal engineer and DJ. And he mixed and mastered the entire album, and he produced a couple joints on there, including Bacardi, Rum, PR Rum. Um, I had Domingo produce a lot of joints on there. I produced a few joints in there. Hanzo Plays produced one joint on there. Uh, AJ Throwback produced Traviesa, which was
Hmm.
actually the first track on the album that we created. Um, hmm, I don't want to leave anybody out. We had Joey Dynamite that produced What We Look Like for the New Jamaicans.
Hmm.
Um, we also had oh wow, I can't even think, man. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of
It
people.
was incredible. It was incredible in regards to the collabs. Because I tell artists all the time, like now, especially artists feel like, oh, I don't need to do collabs. And I think that shows your range, the fact that you can work with different people and create this beautiful music. I think that it also opens you up to their market and opens them up to your market. So
Yeah.
what do you think in regards to that, in regards to collaborations? How
I think
important?
collaborations are excellent. That's how civilizations are built, by people working together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, civilization is built by people trading and bartering and trading value of things, whether it be fruits, cattle, any things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I'm not going to get too deep into the anthropology of things. But people working together is civilization. That's how you are civil,
That's
and
right.
that's how great things are built.
That's right.
Empires are built that way.
That's right.
Empires are built by people working together. So that's the greatest thing about collaborations is, some people are like, well, I don't like everybody getting along and working together in hip hop now. Everybody's friend and all of that. Man, forget that, man. I'd
Right.
rather have that than people killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Absolutely. And that's the music that, is penetrating this culture right now, is that music, the drill music, the music that, is causing this hysteria, this, anger,
Yeah,
I think. And I think that we have to get back to music like yours. We have to get back to those sounds that make people happy, that make people want to work together, that make people want to, you know, meet new people and venture out and, just be those type of forces in the world. So shout out to you for that because again,
man, I really appreciate that. Hearing that
yeah,
means a lot, sweetheart. Thank you.
yeah, I mean, because like I said, you're a pioneer. One of the things that I just recently, we were at an event with my son and we were talking about, gun violence awareness and things like that. And one of the things that he said to a group of men is he said, you guys have to set the tone for this youth, for the youth, and basically telling them killing each other is not cool. You know what I'm saying? And all the things that are happening within the urban community, it's partly our responsibility to make sure that these kids don't do these things or are guided in the right way. And I
Yeah,
think it starts with the music. I think it starts with people like you know what I mean? So it's a blessing to see this.
we definitely have a responsibility to you.
Yeah. So tell me, I had the question and then I just forgot. But in regards to the visual elements of the project, because uh P look, I don't know how to roll my tongue, so that's where I have problems when I
Say it
start
like a
speaking.
D. Say it like a D. So and say the R like a D. If it's one R, say it like a D. If it's two R's, don't worry about trying it. But if it's one D, just if it's one R, say it like a D, and you got it. You got it. So if it's piragua, say piragua, 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 piragua. Say it real fast.
Piagua, Piagua,
Piragua,
Piagua, Piagua,
piragua. That's right, piragua with a D, piragua.
Piagua.
You got it. You got it. You got it. That's good enough.
So tell me, because I went and researched what the meaning of that was, which it's the cones, the ice cream cones. But why they call it that is because it's shaped like a pyramid.
Right.
And I thought that was symbolic to me because it tells me that you're conscious. It tells me that you had a reason for making this album be what it is. So tell me, what was the visual elements and why did you pick that as the title?
Well, I'm a Cancer. That's my sign.
Okay.
I'm a Cancer to a T. That's my sun sign, and
I'm a Pisces.
that's it's all about family and history and heritage and nation and your mother and all of that. So childhood memories are very, very fond to us. And when I was a child, my mom took me to the Latin festival in DC, and I had some I don't know what they do, like shish kebabs, I think, or whatever, and I
Yeah.
had some piraguas, or I think they were called espados at the time. I don't know. I was a child.
Uh-huh.
But because there wasn't a lot of Puerto Ricans in the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
So it may have been from a different ethnicity, but it was the same basic thing, and I had it. And when I saw an image of it on the internet, I was like, "Wow, it just said a lot to me." I saw an image of it, and I saw a cart, a piragua cart, and it's a famous image that a lot of Puerto Ricans know and see, and recognize. And when I saw it, I was like, I want to make an album about this. I want to make a this is a good theme for a Latin album. And I always wanted to make a Latin album. So
Yeah.
because I always put like Latin songs in my albums. There was always one Latin song in every album that I made. I mean in the previous 4 albums that I did. So I was like, let me make a Latin album, and I collabed with other people, and I made a good album called Piragua. So then I came out with Mas Piragua with a same theme, and then I did the third album, which was Triple Piragua, which was like the final series to it. And
Yeah.
what I did with this one, as y'all can see in the bottom left corner, is three Piragua snow cones. One
Yeah.
is blue, one is green, and one is yellow. The blue represents the East Coast boom bap hip hop. The green represents the reggaeton, and the yellow represents the Latin trap. And there's a Puerto Rican flag in the background with my name on top.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's Triple Piragua, and I'm using the Igloo font, which I used in all 3 albums, which is the icy font, that they use for
Yeah.
ice. Whenever you get ice outside the 7-Eleven or whatever at the liquor store, whatever, they use that font. So you always want to use what works. Some people like to use the Nike font. Some people like to use, the Exxon font. Some people you want to use what works. That's what sells. That's what retains in people's minds. I'm giving y'all a game, man,
Yeah,
that
man.
that a legend gave me, that I paid for, and P game. So yeah, use what works. Don't reinvent the wheel,
Yeah.
and it'll
Definitely.
work for you, and you'll get paid for it. What makes
Definitely.
money will make you money.
That's
And
right.
yeah, so that's what I did. So I made that. Now, this may not resonate with the American audience year round, but it does with the Puerto Rican audience, because in Puerto Rico, they serve this year round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really targeting this towards the Puerto Rican audience, and the Latin audience in the Caribbean.
Right.
You know, and as far as the merchandise and the music, um, as a steady customer base, market, for that market. But yeah, this is one of my babies right here.
Yeah. And you're doing a great job because, like I said, you understand the marketing aspect. Um, what has the response been, do you feel, from the Latin community?
It's been really good.
Yeah.
People resonate with it. People resonate with it.
Yeah. I would
I've
love to
been getting
see
a lot of
some of the comments and translations of just what people say, because that ultimately tells you, in regards to how it resonates with people, and things like that. So
yeah. I've
definitely
been getting
send
a
me.
lot of streams on from Puerto Rico. A lot of
Yeah,
streams from different towns in Puerto Rico, like Bayamon, Rio Piedre, San Juan, um, different places. Those are the steady places that stay listening right now.
that's
Um, so yeah, like it's doing really good. Like I'm really appreciating the fruits of my labors right now.
yeah.
You know,
And you're
I
busy.
worked. Yeah, I worked on it for 3 years. So
Wow.
if you put that energy in, it'll come. It'll. If you put that work into the universe, it'll come back to you. I promise you.
That's
And
right.
that's to everybody out there. You already
that's
know the deal. You've
that's
been putting
right.
in work, so you know.
That's right. And it's like I tell people, this is my fifth season of my podcast. And I finally am starting to get the leverage and the credibility and just knowing the confidence level. So, again, it takes time, it takes work, it takes consistency.
Yeah, it does.
And if you
They say it
believe in
takes
something,
5 years before you blow.
yeah, it does. It really does. And I work with MJ Connections, Hip Hop Connections, because she's one of the best PR people that I know in the East Coast right now that actually does the work for the artists.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anybody that comes through her is highly regarded for me, because I understand that you know what it takes to be received, or to be taken seriously in your career. And you understand you have to spend a little in order to get that response, in order to
got
get
it.
traction.
Nothing in the universe is free, and God will curse you for taking things for free. The universe, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the magic man in the sky, it will curse you. It will curse you for taking things for free. Whatever you give in the universe, you will get back. Whatever you take from the universe will take from you. I'm telling
Yep,
you right now, if you take for free, you gotta either, if somebody gives something to you, you gotta give to somebody else at least.
that's right.
You know what I'm
Pass the
saying?
torch.
Like it's an old African. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Like I be trying. I'm not you, but I be trying to tell people, man. It's an old African rule that you have to reciprocity. It's a system, an honor system of reciprocity. Word to my padrino Oba and A. Rashid. It's an honor system of reciprocity that our ancestors come from, that we work with,
Yep.
and the whole village does it, and the whole nation does it. The universe works on it. It's reciprocity. It's an honor system, and
Yeah.
whatever you take, you better be willing to give back, because the universe will curse you if you take it for free. And that's all I'm gonna say.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love your mentality. And I think it's important to understand that it's the gift of giving, is that you now can receive, and you can receive, abundantly, just from giving. I tell people all the time, I'm blessed because of the things that I've done out of the kindness of my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm protected because of that.
Right.
It's not luck. You know what I mean?
And
It's because of my good deeds.
as long as you live your life around facilitating the feeding of people,
Yep,
facilitating feeding people, the universe will always protect you.
that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, what has been the biggest challenge for you through this project?
Uh oh wow. The biggest challenge, I really can't talk about it. With some business issues,
Mm-hmm.
With putting the album out, some legal issues. I had to get real grimy and put on my business suit and swim with the sharks
Mm-hmm.
and come to an agreement. And that's all I can say because I can't speak on it. If I do, I get in legal trouble. But I'm gonna
Okay.
publicly say that yeah, I had to do some things to make sure. And at that point, I was about to give up. Before I knew what I had to do, I had to give up. I was about to give up on life itself because I have no children, I have no family. I'm
Mm-hmm.
basically living for myself and my art. So
Right.
if I, this every piece of artwork is like a child for me. It's a milestone.
Mm-hmm.
It's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? I'm living my purpose is to put music out to live like pyramids so that it will be here forever after I die. So that
Absolutely.
100, 500, 1,000 years from now, somebody can go back and listen to what I mean. A lot of people are living just to pay bills. They feeling their urges. We all got urges. We human. But you know what I'm saying? They have no purpose. You know what I'm saying? They have no drive. They have no program that they on. And the thing is that they on a program of monotony and the mundane. And the thing is that they I don't even know if I'm using the right words when I say that. But my whole thing is that they on some regular shit. And
Right.
they don't got no purpose. And the thing is that excuse my language. And the thing is that I'm trying to make something that's gonna be here after I die so that it says that my life meant something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the only way I can do that is how I found is through the vehicle of music.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The vehicle of music is a way to uh, have your voice heard and be carried on through the youth,
Yep. That's right.
and the youth will carry you on through the future.
You giving me Tupac vibes right now. You giving me that, like I say to people, Tupac is my biggest favorite artist of all times. And the
Okay.
reason why is because he still has music that is present and relevant to right now. Changes was one of my, I had to go back after COVID and really listen to that song. And he was ahead of his time way before these things even happen. You know what I mean? Like, and just understanding what we needed to do to get back to the natural, organic love that we should have for humans. And it was just like mind blowing again to that, there's kids that now still listen to Tupac that still feel, that he's one of their biggest favorite artists. And that was always my thing. Even with Michael Jackson, it's like you want to be a classic artist. You want to be an artist that has a catalog of music that is going to be here forever. And that's what I get from Mike Mountain. I feel like your music is going to be the music that people hear 50 years from now and still think this is relevant, this is present, this is something that I can relate to. So kudos to you for that.
Appreciate that. I
'Cause
appreciate it. All I can say is that Pac, like Michael Jackson, like myself and like yourself, was a human being, and he had his flaws.
mhm,
He had his kingly great attributes.
right.
He had his royal attributes. Excuse me. Um, to include everyone. He had his sins, his mistakes, and he had his greatest decisions ever that he ever made. And
Yep.
I just ask that anybody just take anybody who ever died, that we just take the time to look at them as human beings.
Mhm.
We take the time to look at them as human beings and give them their grace. Give them that grace, for what
Absolutely.
for what they may have done and what they may have not done, and what they just treat them like human beings, man. Treat them like you would want to be treated after you die.
That's right.
You know,
What would you say you would want to be remembered for the most?
being an authentic, genuine person.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I think that's important, that people like you said, it's your purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's your purpose to relay what your gift is, and to be able to translate that to the world and give it back. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you're doing in your music, and I hear it, and I'm here for it. Like I always tell people who come through this, circle, my circle, the media loop, that, we locked in now, because now you have a new, real, genuine supporter, a person who you can hit up and say, T, what's up? I need you to push this, or, just the things that, because you need to build a community of people who support you genuinely.
Yeah, we
Uh,
need
yeah, we need each other. And that's where, like, MJ and, a lot of my affiliate people that I work with, we all have that understanding. You there?
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So yeah, that, like I said, I treat every artist that comes through this, through this platform as, this is our bond, this is our union, and this is, we grow from this. You know what I'm saying? Is that we just broke bread, we just talked, we just had this, elaborate conversation about who you are and what you're bringing to the culture and what you're bringing to music. Um, what would you say is one of the things that, or who would you like to collab with in the future?
I always say this, Redman. Redman, that's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list. I want to do something
That's
with
big
Redman.
bro.
Redman, got to do something with Redman, and he knows it too.
He
He
knows
knows
it.
it. Yes, yes. I don't. I'm not gonna say I know him, but I
Mm-hmm.
know him. I know him.
Yeah.
You know, he
I
knows
met
who I
Red.
am. He knows that he shouted me out plenty of times. Um, he's, you know what I'm saying. He sent me a few messages. He knows who I am.
Yep.
I've even did like a website for him before, like doing something for a different artist that he had me do. His people's had me do on his team. So and he specifically asked for me. So he knows who I am,
He's
and
very
he knows.
selective.
Yes, and so am I. And loyalty is a big thing to him. He's an
Yeah.
Aries. He's an
Yeah.
Aries, and they love loyalty. They
That's
love,
right.
and Cancers are very loyal people.
That's right.
So but we can say things to get on each other's nerves. But I guess for some reason of our placements, we get along.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't had in too many one-on-one sessions with him. So I look forward to that, man. I look forward to that. Um,
It's it's funny you said that though, because that is one of my people that he was the first artist that I ever met. And it was just by chance. It was just, he followed us into an alley. We were in Miami, me and my girls, and we were drunk. Okay. This was like
right.
95. No, not 95, 2005. I was 25. I just turned 25. I went to Miami. And and
We
we
about the same
so
age.
yeah, so he basically, so we're in the alley peeing, okay, this is what we're doing,
Okay.
and he comes in the alley and I could hear him. My girl's like, it's Redman. I'm like, yeah, right. So then she goes, it's Redman. So we walk out and I'm like, Red? And he's like, yo, what's up? So he's like, what are y'all doing back here? He goes, we followed you, him and his manager at the time, Scott. They were both in the car, and he's like, yo, we followed y'all because y'all just looked like y'all was up to no good. And so it was like that conversation. From that, me and him became great friends. And he basically invited me to multiple different shows. And I remember being in the Bentley Hotel with him that night, and we were like, I was trying to rap, but I had lost my voice because I had been in the club all night with Baby and Trick Daddy and all these other artists. And he basically told me, he's like, T, your pen is your sword. You know what I'm saying? Right. He goes, I don't want to hear you freestyle. I want to see what you got on the pen. And that for me was like, I understood his language. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it made
yeah.
me become more passionate about writing opposed
That's
to
what
just
I'm talking about.
freestyling. Yeah.
Yes.
Like that was one
Yes.
of my biggest, influences when it came to like understanding music. Is he's like, T, the pen is your sword. Like once you write it down, it's yours. You know what I'm saying?
And you
So
got that laid. You got that handed down to you from a legend.
from a legend, straight
You was
up.
a,
And
you was anointed.
yeah,
You was
and it was
anointed. And
crazy.
And you know what he was doing for real, when he was checking up on you? He was on the low making sure y'all was safe.
Yeah, he was.
You know?
He definitely, but it became a
That's your
great,
angel right there.
yeah, it became a friendship. And every time he sees me, he's like, sis, what up? You know, like we just have that chemistry. And it's so crazy because I'm like, who would have thought I would have met him like that? You know, I've
Yeah.
met Jay-Z, I've met artists in the weirdest situations where it wasn't about music at the time. It was just
Right.
happened to be in the same place at the same time. But
Right.
Red and Meth were two of those people for me that no matter where they see me, it's sis, what you doing? Where you at? And they don't let nobody talk to me. Like they're like, no, that's sis, leave her alone, you know?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
but
Right.
he's
Right.
a solid person like that. And I love him for that because again, that was where I made the decision. Like, is this what you really want to do? Or do you want to give back to other artists and help them along? And teach them what you didn't learn early in the game. So again, it was definitely a surreal moment. And I'm definitely gonna be in his inbox like, listen, you need to work with Mike Mountain, okay?
Oh
Let's
man,
do
I would
this.
appreciate that. I would appreciate that. That would be heaven sent.
Yes, yes,
Like, you
yes.
remember Mike Mountain? Well, guess what?
That's right. That's right. So tell me what's next for you. I know you have two videos and you have them in anime, which I thought was very, strategic as well because anime is what is taking over the planet right now. So what made you do that?
Well, I went to school for graphics and animation and stuff, so um,
Wow,
I just utilize, it's like Pun said, you got to utilize that.
that's
So
right.
I took a few pointers from school and I utilized that.
Yeah.
So that, that's all I did. You know what I'm saying? I use the best of my abilities to make everything happen. That's it.
Right. And I think that's important. Like the original G-Man of hip hop, he was on here a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago. And one of the things that he said is that, artists need to be multi-dimensional. They have to know how to do not just music. They have to know how to, facilitate and, do other things that are going to help along their career. So to see you be a graphic designer, do your own graphics, do your own anime, that's dope. Like that's a whole nother gift in itself. You know what
I
I'm saying?
appreciate
Like,
that. I
yeah,
appreciate that. It's like, the way to get into the music business. I'm gonna say this to all the young people too, is you don't want to just do music. You don't want to just be a producer. You want to do everything. You want to be. A lot of people get into the music business by not just being a musician. They are a graphic designer. They are a videographer. They are a engineer. They are a marketer. They are a data analysis. They
mm-hmm.
are so many things. They are a cook. They cater parties, and they meet people that way. It's so many ways that they're jacks of all trades. You know what I'm saying? They have more than one thing going on, and that's how you have to do to get yourself in different doors.
That's
To get
right.
your, to get yourself in that one door that you're trying to get into. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
have different keys. You know what I'm saying? In case one don't work.
No, and that's true. Like I always tell people, I got to have multiple streams of income. I can't just have one.
Yeah.
So that for me is important. Is figuring out, what I'm gonna be happy with, and be passionate about because I think that's important. Like I do graphics, I do, everything in regards to this show and, just the marketing. I had to learn, and it was crazy because I used to get tired of paying people to do graphics and they wouldn't do what I want and we would have to keep going
Yeah.
back and forth. And I'm like,
Oh,
listen, I need to learn how to do this on my own.
you did this right here?
Huh?
You did this right here? This is one?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is very nice.
Yeah. I
It's
did
very,
it.
very nice. I like this. I
I
like
try,
this.
like you said, I try to do things that I know people are going to gravitate to and that's going to get people's attention.
Yeah, I like this a lot. That's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've learned how to produce. I learned, when I wanted to rap and record, and I got Fruity Loops and Pro Tools, and I did everything I could from the beginning to learn it. To the point I started making my own beats and people were like, "Yo, you did that?" And I'm like,
Right.
and I started recording my own videos, and it was just I'm like, listen, I need to know how to do this so I know what I like and what I don't like, and
Right.
how to make
People
it
ain't
right.
doing it for you. You got to do it yourself. You got to do it yourself. People ain't doing it quite right. You got to do it
That's
yourself
right.
because you know what you like.
And it's the vision, honestly. Like, everybody doesn't have Mike Mountain's vision. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
you got to do it yourself. You got to
do it yourself, or at least know how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. In case nobody else can. That's right.
That's right. You wait for nobody. You're a real king, and I respect that, because again, yeah, there's not many people that understand that element of doing it yourself and learning it yourself. Um, what would you say is one of the best advices that you've been given in the industry?
Man.
I'm asking you hard questions.
I mean, because I've been given so much advice, man.
I know.
Yes. Respect people's time. Redman told me that. Respect people's time.
Mm-hmm.
Respect people's time. Respect people and respect people's time.
That's so true.
That works all over, like not just in music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that and that's documented that he said that. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody can take that if y'all look up his interview, I mean that he did with me or whatever. Not the interview, but the cameo that he did for me for my birthday. He said a lot of good things in there that y'all can learn from. And one thing he said was respect people and respect people's time.
That's right. Absolutely.
Now, there's not
And
too much else to go with that. You don't have to.
And that's what I say to you, because you showed up on time. You was ready. You was prepared. Like, there's artists that are not seasoned, that are not vetted, and think that they are already there. And they think that by putting out an album or having some type of local notoriety that they're there. And I'm like, listen, you're not there yet. You can't just not. And I mean, and honestly, the biggest artists show up and they're professional. And that,
I mean, come on, yo, look at artists like Red and Mouth, man. They still putting in work.
Yeah.
They working hard, man. They working hard. You can tell in their videos how they got the hand gestures down for just a freestyle, 5-minute freestyle, like a 1-minute freestyle. Like, they got everything down pat, like they working hard.
Yeah.
They working hard, man. Like,
this is their life. Now. And they're passionate about it still at their big age. You know what I'm saying?
So what makes us think that we got to be any less hard working than these guys that are doing it 30 years later, you know what I'm saying, that are still working hard?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
We got a long way to go. Man. If we trying to, you know what I'm saying? We got a long way to go. So we best to get started now.
Right. So tell me, what would you be doing right now? I think you probably would be doing graphics, but I think you're more of a lyrical person. You're more of a motivational speaker. So what would you say you would be doing if it wasn't for music right
now? I'll probably be doing animation and voiceovers, maybe. Probably voiceovers. I'll probably eventually do voiceovers with the animation.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely, have that Mike Mountain cartoon type of theme going, or, some type of something like that. I could definitely see that. You should make some type of cartoon or something like that. Some animation.
I did actually make a cartoon about a character that looked like me and is similar to me, but he has a totally different family dynamic, totally different environment that he grew up in, and a totally different plot twist. And it's like science fiction, but it's this little cartoon. It's called Kid Courageous with 2 Ks. Kid Courageous.
Kid Courageous.
I might want to check that out. It's on YouTube. It's a PG rated, and kids love it, parents love it. You can watch it with your kids, adults still love it, because it's got a lot of action and anime in it. Mm-hmm. But it's no blood. It's no blood.
That's
no
dope.
Killing.
That's dope.
No profanity.
If you could change anything in the music industry right now, what would it be?
shadiness, but that would be human nature.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a lot of people's personalities I would be changing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would change the bad business doings and um the predatory behavior,
Mm-hmm.
the
And there's a lot.
lying, the deceit, the cheating, the sexual assault, the sexual harassment,
Mm-hmm.
what's the word, extortion.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, I would get rid of all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I would get rid of all of that. The embezzlement,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I would get rid of all of that. The bad contracts. I would get rid
Mm-hmm.
of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would get rid of all of that. Or should I say the contracts that are bad for the small guy? I
That's
would get
right.
rid of all of that. Because there's no such thing as a bad contract. Contracts are written to be what they're supposed to do. If
Right.
it's meant, if it's supposed to, if it's like a computer program. It's programmed to do what it's supposed to do by whoever writes it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you sign it, then that's your fault. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But you know what I'm saying?
But it's all,
We've
it
all,
comes with education too. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it does, and we all learn from our mistakes. We've all had bad deals.
I mean, and that's I look at Ice Cube and NWA when it comes to bad contracts and understanding education and why Ice Cube was successful in that group because he didn't sign. You know what I mean? He decided, nope, I need to have my lawyers look at this. I need, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah,
when you're young and you don't know the business and you don't, you have to have the right people in your corner. You have to have people who have some type of knowledge of the business or at least being able to point you in the right direction.
yeah, you
So
do.
how important is that for you?
I'm gonna tell you this much. I recently had to drop somebody who I was teaching
Mm-hmm.
about the music thing because they were being dishonest with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to protect and guide and be completely honest and genuine with a younger artist so that they know everything and be completely transparent with them so that they know everything that I know so that they won't make the same mistakes that I made.
That's right.
But once
That's
I find out that they're not honest, that they're not being honest with me and that they're taking advantage of me, then the things that I do for free ceases to be done.
mm-hmm. You have to know where to draw the line.
Exactly. Because if I'm at a crossroads with myself, then that person has to go.
That's right. That's right. And that's and it's trust. It's definitely trust in this business, and it's hard to trust people in the music industry because you just don't know what people's ulterior motives or ultimate agendas are. And I think people just want that instant gratification, that instant, oh, I made money, or my biggest thing right now is everybody's trying to finesse somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's what
like,
I'm saying. I don't like that, and I feel like, and I kind of take it personal. I take it personal as a cancer. I'm so sensitive. I take it personal. Like, why is this person lying to me? Why is they getting over on me? But then I start to realize that, you know what? That's just the way that person operates.
mm-hmm,
So I shouldn't take it personal. They do it to everybody.
mm-hmm.
They
This is
think
the
that
way
they
they
think
live.
they think they're getting over on everybody,
That's right.
but they really just getting over on themselves because they it's like the emperor's clothes. He thought that he had new clothes, but he was really naked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they say, you're not fooling nobody but yourself, or you can only fool some of the people some of the time. So
That's
I don't
right.
take it I don't take it personal no more.
No.
You know what I'm
And the
saying?
good guys always win, whether you see it or not.
The
You're at peace.
protagonist wins in the end. The protagonist wins.
Yeah. You're at peace. And that for me is my biggest thing. Like people would say, you don't have any hard feelings or anything towards people. No, because at the end of the day, the universe weeds out the bad seeds. It weeds out the people that are not intentionally there for the right reasons.
Nah, because at the end of the day, I want peace. So I don't wish nobody. I don't wish nobody no bad. No bad. You know what I mean? No ill will or nothing like that. I just want peace myself. So I'm like, I wish everybody could get along. You know what I'm saying? They just gotta leave me alone.
That's a good mentality to have, Mike. I honestly say, people say to me all the time, like, how are you so happy and so kind and so forgiving and humble?
You gotta learn to be that way.
Yeah. Like, listen, I was given his heart for a reason. I was given his voice for a reason, and understanding it's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that, like you said, it's not you. It's the way a person was raised, and just understanding that sometimes you got to separate yourself from those people. You know what I'm saying? And go a different path because they're not righteous yet. They're not. They don't want to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? They want to.
The world can make you be a certain way at times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time in my early 20s where I came to a point of aggression, what most cancers do, where they come to a point of aggression and or bravery. And I came to a point of that where I was pushed through dealing with a lot of narcissistic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to a point of aggression. And it kind of jaded me a little bit dealing with a lot of people who are toxic, or I don't even want to use that term because it's so used so loosely so much. But just negative people who have bad intentions, should I say. And dealing with that had jaded me a lot, but you have to learn to get back to who you are, who you were raised to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And thankfully for my mother for sticking with me and seeing the humanity and seeing who I was since I was a child. And forgiving me for the mistakes that I made and dealing with me and my condition and knowing who I am. You know what I'm saying? I've returned to a peaceful person. I've learned, and I want to shout out to my man E Rex, aka Mr. Scratch Hook. He taught me how to laugh at a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things that, watching things on the internet will take you down a lot. You know what I'm saying? Social media, things will take you down. You see a lot of depravity online, and it makes you feel really depressed about the world, and you see it in a critical way. And a lot of times you'll just be like, yo, I feel down, but I just laugh at a lot of stuff now because I'm just like, people are fools, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fooling ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, I, realize, like, in regards to social media, being the person I am on social media, people take that literally. They take my lifestyle literally. They take, the things that I say literally. They're like, oh, she's going through this. It's not necessarily what I'm going through. It's something I can relate to. But also trying to give positive messages because like like you said, like sometimes you get online and people are just complaining and mad and sad. And it's like, you're pushing that energy out to the world. You know what I'm saying? And I never want my problems to be on the internet for people to now glorify or look at and say, oh, she's going through a bad day.
I had to learn that the hard way because I'm so authentic and genuine that I speak my mind, and I had to learn that the hard way that not everything is for everybody.
There's people praying on you
praying
like you don't even know.
It's people praying like predators. Yeah, I don't share too much good news either before it manifests. You know what I'm saying? And I'll share the work that has been done and the blessings that have been given. I just learned not to care too much what people think anymore because I've been on a negative route. Well, I've been it, and I've been negative because of what I fed myself, isolating and feeding myself social media. And I've been negative on Facebook and things of that nature, saying negative things and stuff, and people have gotten the wrong impression about me. And then I totally changed and did a 180, and I started being positive and inspiring people and sharing things that I learned. And people will try to take that and say, "Oh, what, you trying to save the world now? You think he Jesus Christ?" And I'm like, yo,
I'm just a vessel. That's it.
you know what I mean? Like, so
I'm
I
not
don't even
always
care
right.
anymore.
I'm not
I,
always right, but I'm real. I'm
yeah,
human.
you know
We're
what I
human.
mean? Like, you know, you can't win or lose, but you can't win for losing or whatever they say. But it's like, you know, forget what people think, man. Like, I just post my music. You know what I'm saying? And if I make a post that I feel that I don't think sits right with me, then I'll delete it. You know what I'm saying? But other than
Right.
that, I just keep it whatever it is, man. I just try to keep it regular and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But um, the world gets lonelier when your friends die. When your friends and family die as you get older. Um, People start to reveal who they are over the years
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and sometimes it feels like social media is the only thing that you can talk to because sometimes you can't even trust a therapist.
That's right. Absolutely.
But
And
you gotta
sometimes
watch
it is
what you say.
therapy. But
But you
I
gotta watch
realized
what
that.
you say. Yeah,
Yes,
but you gotta because it's not your therapist.
it's
You
not,
gotta watch.
you know, it's not. Like it's not a healthy therapy. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's not.
Like,
It's not. It's not because people they misconstrue so much and they make judgments on your lives and then they try to
yeah,
tell your story. And that's another thing I don't like. People think just because they meet you, I mean, just they don't even meet you. You could be like miles away on a whole nother side of the country, on a whole side of the world, and you share a little bit of stuff, personal stuff about yourself, and they think they know your whole story. And
that's right.
once you disagree with them or stop associating with them, they feel they can tell your whole life story as if they know you, and they don't even know the half.
Nothing.
You know
Nothing.
what I'm saying?
Like, and that's the
So,
funny thing. Like, people will walk up to me and they be like, TML. And I'm like, and they're like, I seen your, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know who you are, but you think you know me. I mean, and that is scary to me. That became very scary.
mm,
I'm very private now with, my personal life, just because I feel like we talked about the predators, the people that you don't know
that's
who are
right.
preying on you.
That's right.
And
I'm afraid. If I ever have kids, I'm afraid to put them on the internet. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man.
Or if I ever get a girlfriend or whatever, I'm afraid to put a picture on the internet or whatever, like, or
Yeah,
or, or put her, or even let her comments be seen on my page, like, because there's
yeah,
so many people that is just scheming and hiding away, nested away, man. They nested
yeah.
away, and just hiding like this.
Right. There's some people who are not vocal on social media, but they're very active. And that for
Very
me is
active.
like, what are you watching? What are you looking? What are you doing? Like, are you just looking at this for entertainment? Like, what is it, that keeps bringing you back here? And like I tell people, I use social media as a tool. It's a tool for me to market, to brand, to push my agenda. And that is what I'm doing it for. The post and the memes and the things that you see are things that people gravitate to. So that's what I post, as
Right.
well as the music. It's cross marketing. And
Right.
that for me is like been my, my thing for the last 10 years. And I've been successful at doing it. Um, would you say, what would you say in regards to because my thing is that people, one of the things that I researched this past probably last couple of months was one of the biggest killers in America right now is social media.
Mm.
A lot of people are committing suicide. A lot of people, compare their lives to, the people on social
People
media.
on social media. Hmm.
And you don't know, they're only giving you the highlight reel. They're not giving you the behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And understanding why they're, the way they are, or the things that happen for them to get to that level. Like that is where I'm like, yeah, it's very smoke and mirrors for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's a lot of, illusions and facades that people put on. And we just have to differentiate the real from the fake, and I think you do a great job of that,
Thank you.
because I feel like you're an organic, natural person when it comes to what you're, pushing and what you're putting out there.
And I feel you are too. I feel that the love that you give is genuine. I feel that you're a real, genuine, good-hearted person, and that you're real. You know what I'm saying? You speak your mind, and if something bothers you, you say it, and if something inspires you, you say it. I can tell
Yeah.
that about you. You know what I'm
I give
saying?
my flowers. I gotta give people their flowers. Like I tell
Yeah,
people, like it doesn't hurt you to acknowledge someone's success or someone's accolades. Like we
yeah,
have to celebrate each other. Don't just celebrate each other in death. Celebrate each other while we're living. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because if you recognize the greatness in somebody else, it's because you have that same greatness within yourself. You
Yeah,
have to have it within yourself in order to recognize it in somebody else.
that's right. So tell me, what's one message that you want to give to your fans? It's already we're like 1 hour and 5 minutes in, but it feels like we've only just started talking. I want you to come back. I want you to update us.
Let's
This
do
is
it.
now your home, as well. So anytime you have anything going on that you want to, share or express, I'm definitely, here and open arms. You
I
can
could just
come be
lay
on
up on
this
the sofa
platform.
right now. Just zoom in and lay up on the sofa.
Yeah, right here on the couch.
Let me get my spliff. Hold on, I'll be right back. Nah.
Look, I'm waiting to roll up right now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna feel good after this interview. It's a good interview.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry. What was that question you said?
I know, right? I said, what is one message you want to give to your fans tonight?
um, oh man, if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay. If people see you make a mistake, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you did something wrong, it's okay. You can admit that you did something wrong. It's not about falling. It's about how you get back up.
Tell them.
And everything happens for a reason.
That's right.
Redman told me that in a cameo. He said everything happens. You are where you are because it's for a reason, and you going where you going because you're supposed to be there.
That's
So
right.
don't worry about nothing. And that's all
That's
I'm gonna
right.
say.
That was so dope. I just want to tell the people where to find you. The real Mike Mountain on Instagram. Also his website. It's I think
MikeMountain.com.
MikeMountain.com. And you're also looking for models. I'm gonna pull that up. So you have a model call. You're looking
Yeah,
for models to model your brand and your
yeah, you
merch.
gotta buy the t-shirt first. It's like $20 for the t-shirt. One of the t-shirts, a male or female t-shirt, or you can get a hat. It doesn't matter. You can get anything you want from the store from triplepidagua.com. That's TRIPLEPIRAGUA.com. You go there, you can buy any item that you want. If you take a picture in it, I will put you on the triplepidagua.com. I mean, Triple Pidagua IG, the Triple Pidagua Facebook, and the Mike Mountain Facebook and IG website as well as our .coms, triplepidagua.com and the MikeMountain.com. I'll put you on all of our social medias and websites. You will be a model on our website. It will be there forever. You can refer people and say, oh, yeah, look, I'm on MikeMountain.com. I'm on TriplePidagua.com. That's me wearing this t-shirt that I bought. How do I look? Did they
That's
get my good
right.
side?
I love it, Mike. You are just again a burst of energy and just knowledge and wisdom, and I just am blessed to have this interview with you tonight.
I'm
So you
blessed to be here.
definitely come back and update us and keep us in the loop of what's going on with you.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You have a great night.
You too, sweetie. You too. Thank
All
you
right. Yes.
all
Good
right,
night.
peace, y'all. Peace.
All right.
That out there, always on time and never late. These heavyweight words are weapons.
Hanzo Blaze, Mike Mountain, Black Spanish. Check it. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, no sombre to my temple.
Mike Mountain, Psycho Bless, Beat Nuts in the house. You might see me at the club cutting the black wax. So that out there, always on time and never late. These heavyweight words are weapons.
Hanzo Blaze, Mike Mountain, Black Spanish. Check it. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, no sombre to my temple.
Mike Mountain, Psycho Bless, Beat Nuts in the house. You might see me at the club cutting the black wax. So
Yo, we still here.
Yeah, we still here because I'm going through the comments. They weren't loading, so I want to go through the comments because I'm like, oh my god, there's like 18 comments here. And there's so many people that tuned in tonight, and I just want to thank everybody that tuned in. Y'all definitely go download Mike Mountain. Y'all have everything that y'all need on the description. And again, he will be back. We will be chopping it up. I want to bring you back for our Real Talk. It's not Real Talk, it's Relationship Sundays. I think you would be a good co-host for that. That's something that I basically brought to the forefront because I felt like Relationship Sundays is all about the different relationships that we have, and whether it be, love, whether it be friendship, whether it be family, and just understanding these hard conversations that we need to have. And that is something that, I try to basically bring in different people and get different people's perspectives and point of views. And I think that you will be a great person for that.
All right, cool. Just let me know. I'll be there.
All right. Okay. All right. You have a good night again.
All right, you too. You too.
Okay, love.
All right, love. Peace.
Bye.